Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Garrett here, and today I thought it would be really fun to go back and revisit this solo from a video I did about 7 years ago and do a mini lesson for you guys. Basically what happened is the other day a student of mine had asked me to learn the solo, and I decided it would be helpful if I went back and looked at my video just to figure out the fingerings and all that stuff. I basically went back and I took a look at it, and I realized the video had just hit 300,000 views. Anyway, I thought, wow, 300,000 views, that's insane. I should maybe do something special, just some way to thank my subs and followers. So I made a post on Instagram asking if you guys wanted to see a mini lesson of part of the fast part of the solo, or maybe that weird third, middle part of the song that I didn't really get to do in the main thing. I kind of just did what the music video had. So there's 3 main solos, and then the song's 8 minutes. So there's one way out there, the fourth solo or something. I thought about doing that one as well, and a lot of you guys said to do both. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to subscribe, that way you don't miss that. And if you already subscribed, be sure to hit that bell. Apparently that notification thing is really important. I don't post that much and the algorithm doesn't really like that, so it helps you to make sure you don't miss my content. So if you don't want to miss it, you get it, just fucking click the button. All right, now as usual, I'm not going to be providing any tablature, but fear not, I'm going to be walking you through this note by note. I was thinking about maybe setting up a Patreon for future solos and covers, offering the tabs that way, my interpretations of these, and yeah, maybe even tab out some of the old stuff I've done, like Symphony Ecstasy of Lies or stuff like that. Let me know if that's something you'd be interested in, and yeah, maybe we can get it started. So yeah, that's enough of that. Let's actually get into the lesson, shall we? So I've switched guitars here because the intro clip you heard is actually tuned to D standard. That's just what my Chapman was tuned to with the Floyd, and I wanted to get the performance with the Floyd, but I'm going to teach you the lesson in the tuning that the song is in, which is E standard. So that's what this guitar is tuned to, okay? Let's start with the first lick here. We're going to go with this guy. But first off, before I show you that, I'm going to tell you that this is actually done with all down strokes. We want this little half pinch in there, so. Most of this lick is basically going to be doing that, all the way down and all the way up. When I'm going over the notes here, I'm going to be picking it normally, but you should be picking it like that, okay? We're going to start by sliding into the 11th fret of the G string, and then moving down to 6. From there, we're going to go down to the D string. We're going to play 7 and 6. And then we're going to start chromaticing 4 notes here. On the A string, we're going to do 9, 8, 7, 6. So that first part. From there, we're going to take that same shape on the A string, but just move it up a string, down a string, excuse me, and up a fret. So it'll be 10, 9, 8, 7. And then finally, we're going to finish on 4. And that's where it's going to start to ascend. So one more time. Just like that. The next part's going to go like this. And what I'm doing there is I'm playing 4 of the low E string, 0, 7, 4. Again, all downstrokes. Then I'm moving my first finger up to 7 of the A string and rolling down to the E string. That's the first part. From there, this is where it gets a little weird. He's actually playing the same note twice, but I think on the record it sounds like he's switching frequencies. So I think it moves to the next string. I don't think he actually plays it twice in a row. So what you're going to hear is. So what I'm doing there is I'm playing 11 of the A string, and then I'm playing 6 of the D string, same note. Then I'm chromaticking up by moving up to 7, 8, 9, 10. So altogether, this first part. The next part is going to go like this. So that lick's going to start on the 11th fret of the D string and roll down to the A string. Then back up to the D string, we're going to play 14 and 11. Then we're going to play 13 and 14, starting on the G to the D string. Then I'm going to actually slide up with my middle finger to the 14th fret B string. And then I'm going to do this chromatic part on the E string. It's going to start with my first finger on 12 and slide up to 13. Then chromatic the rest of my fingers, and then shift up one more note with my pinky. So one more time, that second half of the ascending lick. And that's how you play the whole first part with all the down picking. So after this chromatic part, you're going to slide all the way up to 21, then you're going to pick 19, pull off to 18, and pick 19. Then from here, I'm actually sliding down to 17, and then I'm playing 16, 14. So 17, 16, 14. Moving my first finger back up to 16, and then chromaticking up to 17, 18, 19, and that's where the sweeps will begin. So now we get to the epic sweep part. It's going to start again on this 19th fret. You're going to tap 24, pull back off to 19, pull off to 16, hammer on to 17. So that's all the E string. From there, you're going to go down to the B string, 19th fret, and then back up to the 16th fret of the E string. And that's where the sweeps kind of begin. So it's going to be 16, 17B, 16G, and 18D. And then all the way back up. Play 19 again, tap 24 again, and then all the way back down. So again, that first shape. Now quickly, before we go into the next shape, I want to explain the picking here because I actually got quite held up here when I redid this, because when I was younger I did it a little differently and it was kind of hard to change my muscle memory. But the thing is, this one note right here, this 19th fret B string, I was picking it with an up, down, up, up, down. But I think there's two other ways you can do this. The first way you can do it is actually do it down, up, 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 down. And that makes the most sense if you actually want to pick every single note. Usually with legato, basically what it is whenever you change strings, you're actually going to pick, right? That's the idea. So I do legato here when I do the tapping. You're not picking all that. But then this note, I wanted to pick it because, you know, I'm changing strings, right? But I actually think the third way is actually the easiest, which you should do is a hammer on from nowhere. So again, it's going to be a little hard when you practice this slowly because, you know, it's just, you have less momentum when you're playing slowly to get to that hammer on and actually make it sound. But when you do it quicker, it will get easier. So just practice it slowly, even if there is no sound. Then you actually just want to do the sweep with an upstrokes. And then start the rest of the sweep. Just as a normal sweep. So again, one more time. That's how you should do these first two shapes, okay? From there, there's one more trick. Before shifting to the next shape, you actually end on your third finger on that 18th fret D string, but you need to actually switch to your middle finger when sliding down to the next shape, which is 14th fret. So that's gonna make it easier to do this next arpeggio. You're not gonna do it like this, or I guess you could do it that way, but I don't find that easy. I just found it's easier to switch mid slide, so. Switching to my middle there, okay? So again, the next shape is gonna start on that 14th fret D string, and we're gonna start 14, 13, 14, 12, 16, and then tap 21, ascending. From there, it's gonna be similar to the last shape where we're gonna pull off this tap note to 16, 12, hammer on to 14, and then 16 of the B string. That's gonna be our hammer on from nowhere, so. And again, this is easier, faster, so when I'm playing it slow and missing it, don't fucking judge me, man. All right, here we go. Then we're gonna sweep back down, and then back up. Finish there. And one more time, the first two sweeps together go like this. From there, we're gonna do that same thing where we end on the middle finger, but we're gonna slide with our third finger down to the next shape, which is actually the 11th fret of the same string. Okay, and then from here, the shapes get quite straightforward. It's just sweeping upwards and doing a tap and coming back and then changing the next shape. So that next shape is gonna be 11, 9, 8, 9, 12, 17. You're just gonna slide down to 6, and it's basically the same exact shape. So 6, 4, 5, 4, 7, tapping 16. Just like that. So again, the second half. So one more time, the whole arpeggio section goes like this. And then finally, the last part we have here is just the alternate picking run. This part's really fun. It's going to start on the A string, 6th fret, and we're going to play 6, 7, and 9. Then we're just going to take that same exact shape and move it up to the next string and play that same thing twice in a row. So all together. Then we're just going to go up to the next string, but instead of playing this 1, 2, 4, as I like to call it, I'm going to change it to 1, 3, 4. So it's going to be 6, 8, 9, and we're going to double that up again. So all together. From there, we're going to take that same exact shape, move it up a string, up a fret. So it'll be 7, 9, 10, and again, you're doubling it up. So one more time. And then the last part finally is going to go 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 11, and 12 right there. So all together. And that's the whole thing. So one more thing to focus on with that run right there at the end is you want to focus on the accent. So it's in a group of 6 notes. What I'm doing is I'm accenting, picking kind of like extra aggressively on the first note of this group of 6. And that's going to help synchronize my left and right hand. So it's going to be like this. Down, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 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 down. And those are where the accent spots are. So when you hear it up to speed, it should sound like this. It should sound like that, basically. So again, by focusing on those accents, it really helps me to be able to play this efficiently. Rather than focusing on every single note, those are kind of like little checkpoints to keep my hands synchronized together. So just focus on that, and it should be a little bit easier for you. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much the whole solo too. So have fun with it, enjoy, practice everything really slowly as always. And yeah, if you end up making a cover or something like that, feel free to tag me. I'd love to see it. If you learned from this lesson, if you liked the video, give it a like. And yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in another video, okay? See you guys.